Hello again, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dan from Tiger Arcade, and Behringer has just announced, get ready for it, the Behringer Spice. No, it's not this, but it is called the Behringer Spice, and it is a clone of the Moog Subharmonicon. That's actually very significant news, not just because it's an in-production synthesizer, but because they've now announced clones of each of the Moog Sound Studio synthesizers. So is this going to be a Behringer Sound Studio, you know? And I understand why that upsets a lot of people for whatever reason it is, but I know a lot of people, Moog is a dream synthesizer. It's a dream brand. They want to own their products because of the legacy, the sound, the design. I mean, it's very elegant. It's very expensive, you know. With that comes a higher price tag. It's all handmade in the USA. It's very interesting because the Moog Sound Studio, if we're still talking about price, the Moog Sound Studio cost me at least over $2,000 when I got it. I got it when it was like, it had been out maybe like a couple months, maybe 3 months, maybe. I can't remember. That's not important. The important thing is the price. That price tag, $2,000. And I mean, you can get them a lot less used. I've seen them for as low as $1,500 for the bundle, which is a really, really good deal. And now they're selling always on sale, which makes you wonder what's going on. But the Behringer Sound Studio, as I'm going to call it again, that's going to be basically the price of one synthesizer here, at a price tag of maybe roughly $650 US, which is absolutely mind-boggling. You could buy all three of the Behringer synthesizers and it would only cost one of these. That's wild, and that's why people are drawn, you know, to these products. But you're not getting a Moog synthesizer, you know. I hate to break it to you. You're getting a reverse engineered attempt at a Moog synthesizer, and that's probably obvious to some of you, but man, I've listened to these demos, these previews of these clones. You know, DFAM, for example, they just released some videos on it, and I've listened to comparison videos. Really great. I was considering doing one. People have already done it, and they're fantastic videos. Just search on YouTube, you'll find them. I was like, wow, that sounds really, really close, you know? Very, very impressive. It doesn't sound the same, but it sounds pretty damn close. And I think that's enough for people to, you know, pull the trigger because of the price, how close it sounds. And not only that, but they've added some additional features that have kind of frustrated us, you know, Moog synthesizer owners. And that's USB compatibility, you know, USB MIDI. You know, it has the 5-pin MIDI on some of them, but the DFAM doesn't. So a lot of people sold their DFAMs. People tried workarounds, you know, whatever it is. I did a video on this going over how you can sync your Moog Sound Studio to a DAW. Check that out. I'll leave a link above for that. But yeah, they're adding USB MIDI. They're adding 5-pin MIDI to all of them. You know, and it's still got the patch bay. It's in a different spot, and I'm not crazy about where they put that, but maybe they had to not get sued. I'm really not sure. But, you know, some people were like, why are you putting them up there? Why are they shaped like this? Why are they this color? That was kind of me. Whatever. They chose those colors. That's fine. People are still going to get them. You can probably get an overlay or whatever. And Behringer had addressed that concern about the design, not the color, but the design, you know, because everyone's like, well, why didn't you make them like Eurorack compatible? Because that's what's amazing about these. You can take them out, you know, you can stick it in a Eurorack case, you know. You can't do that with these ones. The Behringer Sound Studio, they're just not capable of doing that. And they also said that they're not meant to be stacked. I've already seen people coming out with tier stands for them. And yeah, and if that works for you, that's fine. But I think what I really liked about the Moog Sound Studio was that the patch bay was all on one side, out of the way while you're, adjusting your knobs. And this one's above. That could be a deal breaker for some people. You kind of like that setup, that workflow. What if you don't have desk space? Why aren't you making them like that? I don't know. I don't have all those details, all that insider information. But I just kind of wanted to say, I think that this is great. This is going to be great for people where Moog was only a dream to them. It was a dream brand. They always wanted it, and Behringer's making something very, very similar that has now become no longer a dream, but Behringer is now the solution for them. I think that's awesome. That's great. I just think it's still kind of weird when you do that for products that are still in production. Me personally, that's kind of messed up, but hey, that's capitalism, I guess. The Moog Sound Studio, though, is it worth $2,000? Some people are like, why is it always such a hefty price tag? You have to think about what you're getting with your synthesizer. You're not just getting a synthesizer like Behringer. That's it. That's all you get. With this, you get more of an experience. You get a Moog screwdriver. You get Moog card game.
You get little paper cutouts that can stand on your desk.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's so much more than that. It's such an immersive experience, They include all of these things, cutouts, and it just really makes a nostalgic experience. The beautiful manuals, the color, the artwork, the posters, all of the resources, the great, great customer service that I've only ever experienced from Moog. And I'm not just being biased. I think Moog is a fantastic company. I don't think they're flawless. I'm very critical of any company, even the ones that I own, ones that I've done videos for. I'm still going to be critical. If I see something, I'm going to say something. And, Behringer, as we all know, isn't infallible, obviously. Moog is, in that same boat. There's no such thing as a perfect company. So you have to pick your battles. A great example that was given to me, and I've heard this from many other people, but Behringer is kind of like the Jeff Bezos, Uli Behringer. Or it's like Walmart, Amazon. You have all these major big brands, and they outsource to China, making products cheaper. And what happens? Well, people buy into it because, money doesn't grow on trees, and so people want to get similar products that still can function, if not just as good, for a much cheaper price. Of course people are going to buy into that stuff, So some people like to play the holier than thou, morality, whatever it is. And, that's a very personal choice, how you spend your money. Don't let anyone else tell you. I enjoy sharing information. I enjoy sharing my opinions, but I don't want to tell you how to spend your money. And that's kind of what the purpose of this video is, just kind of give you pros and cons, right, to each of the Behringer Sound Studio and the Moog Sound Studio. Moog just has, in my opinion, a much better sound, a much better feel, craftsmanship to it, and versatility. Although it doesn't have, USB MIDI, I've found a workaround, and that works just fine for me. The difference, obviously, for most is just price. And if that's enough for you, then I say by all means go for something that's cheaper and more affordable, so that you can have fun, so that you can create and you can express yourself. That's pretty much my thoughts on this matter. Love to know what you guys think about all this. You can let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, the whole spiel, and we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.